Merci. I painted a long time on this painting, and I did layers on layers and layers, and now I go back to the beginning. You know, it's like in the cosmos, it's always construction, demolition, reconstruction, all the stars who die and some others are born. It's always like this. Who is responsible for that? Who started this on the beginning? We don't know. We don't know why we are here. We don't know where we go. It's quite desperate, no? Because we have an intellect to try to find out, but we cannot. When a star explodes, all the material goes in the cosmos. It's there. It's not. God doesn't forget it, you know. And then one day it will be recomposed. It will be the gravity will recompose another star, and so on. So I keep it all. I put it in one of the boxes there, you know. If you come, you can see here different. Is this movable? Here are different paintings, you see, from different states. It's much better now, I think.
Kiefer is emphatically one of the most significant artists currently working in the world.
Within the art world, Kiefer's a giant, really.
There are some people whose creativity verges on the demonic, and he's one of those.
I was a child, I did tunnels in the garden of my parents. And then I wrote something I made a drawing on a piece of paper, I put it in the tunnel, and I closed it. I thought, you know, why you do this? It must be a deep need to do things like that.
I'm thinking of when you were born, 1945, and obviously that moment in the history of Germany.
When I was a child, the neighbor house was a ruin, and another was ruined around.
And this was your playground?
Yes, I had nothing else. I played with these bricks in the ruins of Donaueschingen, you know. There was a mass of them. I could play with them.
Kiefer's was a generation that had been born at the very end of the war, had grown up in the ruins of the war, had seen, to a certain extent, the recovery of Germany, but also dealing with the guilt, the historical scar of Nazism. A lot of it had been buried, and I think Kiefer was part of a generation that started to question that.
It's extraordinary now because Germany has been about the best place in the world to teach its children about the war and the Holocaust and the Nazis. But even as late as the 60s, it wasn't the case. Something profound and horrible has gone wrong. Germany is shrouded in silence and denial, a kind of willed amnesia.
The Nazis took over art. They decided what was good and what was bad. Kiefer wanted to sort of purify, cleanse that role again.
From the very beginning, you were very bold, almost, you know, reckless almost, because, as you say, Germany wasn't ready for it.
But I was not ready too. The starting point was an innocent part. A stupid part, if you want to say.
The Sieg Heil salute had been banned in Germany since 1945. Dressing up in his father's Wehrmacht uniform and performing it for a camera was Kiefer's protest against forgetting.
When he took it to his tutors, most of them were horrified, and the only one who understood what this precocious 24-year-old artist was trying to do was one of the tutors called Kuchenmeister, who had actually been in a concentration camp, I believe. And he supported Kiefer in moving forward in this vein.
Ich weiß nicht, was soll es bedeuten, dass ich so traurig bin. Ein Märchen aus Zeiten, das kommt mir nicht aus dem Sinn.
As a young artist, Anselm Kiefer prodded incessantly at the open wound of German history. His paintings from that time are covered with references to mythical German heroes: Siegfried, Hermann, Parsifal, blood-soaked legends of the deep past. These are the same heroes around whom the Nazis built a cult. This made critics uneasy and led to outrage when he represented Germany at the Venice Biennale, with some accusing him of fascism. Was he trying to redeem these German heroes and wash away their sins?
If people say, oh, who has made this? Is this a neo-Nazi? Then I say nothing, because I go back to an earlier time, in which time I don't know what I was. You understand? Mm-hmm. It's not clear what I was in 30 or in 39. It's not clear what happens with me in this time. And most of the intellectuals, they don't ask this question, what they would have done or what they feel, really.
Kiefer's first flush of success came in the 1980s, and he used the money to buy and renovate an old brick factory in Buchen, Germany. Here he expanded into sculpture and installation. He began to create a world for himself. I've come to Buchen to see this first studio for myself and to watch Kiefer install some new work.
I think we have to go over there. Yes, we go up here. Careful to your head. This was for an airplane, but I didn't continue it. It looks awkward.
It's a bewildering and slightly disorientating experience, and Kiefer himself is difficult to keep up with, and not just physically.
Sometimes I put diamonds in, then it's Valentino's. You know, the
Dress designer.
No.
What are you talking about?
Valentino from the antiquity.
Oh,
from the he was in the second century after Christ.
I'm looking down here and I'm seeing these boxes. Obviously you've collected these things.
Yeah.
Where do you find them?
In this building was a lot of material of ancient craft things.
Yes.
Yeah. There was once a school burning. I found a lot of things. I always see things that could fit once in my work.
But you don't necessarily know where they're going to fit.
No, mostly not. Let's go down here. When I did the straw paintings in the 80s, then I had sometimes an axe, and I took the straw away.
Yeah.
When it was too much or when I wanted it, just remnants of straw on the painting. Yeah. And then I didn't throw it away, and I brought it here, I thought.
That's probably been here for how many years? When did you do the straw
that's
painting?
here since 84.
So it's been here for about
30 years now.
30 years, yeah. Well,
It doesn't transform.
It's survived very, very well.
Yes.
Do you throw anything away?
No, never anything. I think it's all can be reused or transformed.
It was here in Buchen that Kiefer's work began to develop in new directions. As he plunged deeper into the guilt and horror of German history, It was as though somehow conventional paint was no longer enough. He began to mix it with ash, earth, and straw, the debris of the world. These two paintings are Kiefer's response to Death Fugue, a poem about the Holocaust by the Jewish poet Paul Celan.
Schwarze Milch der Frühe, wir trinken dich nachts. Wir trinken dich mittags und morgens. Wir trinken dich abends. Wir trinken und trinken. Ein Mann wohnt im Haus. Dein goldenes Haar, Margarete. Dein aschenes Haar, Schulemit.
If the horror of the world can be expressed by artists, then that is an achievement, isn't it?
The word achievement is very difficult. It's as horrible the subject is, art becomes beauty. That's a malediction even.
A curse.
It's a curse. That all becomes beauty, you know. But it doesn't mean that you have found the sense of the world. You have constructed a sense. You could be seduced to think that art could redeem the world. It cannot. You see, there are the doors,
the brick ovens.
the brick ovens. This is really, for me, very shocking, this. And I never changed anything. I just put a bulb in because this is already, I cannot do it that better, you know. It's like it is, you know.
But of course, without saying it, this is
Sure.
very troubling when you
Yes.
look at it. It's
For this reason, I never did something in here. It's already enough.
Dein goldenes Haar, Margarete. Dein aschenes Haar, Schulemit.
Julien, ça va?
The reason Kiefer has returned to Buchen with his assistants is to install these new works. Here are those occupations photographs again, now reused and transformed, just like the straw. They've been blown up on giant sheets of lead.
In the 60s, I couldn't do them because I had not the money to big exposures. So there was a lot of potentiality left. It was young and beautiful.
Yeah, lead's such a charged material. I mean, it's poisonous, it's base material, it's alchemical, and Kiefer loves all of that. I think he likes the fact it's contaminated. I think, you know, the contamination of history by various regimes is something he's explored. I think the fact that a lot of the books are made of lead, you know, the literal interpretation, the weight of history, that still reverberates.
History is a material. It's like clay, you know, you can form it as you want it. You can abuse it, you know, this form. What they all do.
Since the 1990s, Kiefer's artistic vision has, like the cosmos, expanded. He began to attach objects to his canvases: plants, lead books, the weapons of war. Each object has a deeper meaning, an allusion to one of Kiefer's wildly diverse interests. There are references to ancient civilizations, to occult 17th century philosophers, or to NASA's attempts to organize the stars. If they could be said to share a common theme, it is man's quest to make sense of the world.
The great thing for me about Anselm is that he's really only interested in the big questions in life. You know, how did I get to be here? What am I here to do? And that's what he's trying to work out and work through in his painting and in his sculptures and all of his work.
Are you a believer?
I believe not in a personal God who will help me or condemn me or put me in the hell. But it's evident that there is something above us, far above us, what we cannot understand. More and more you ask yourself why we are here and for what reason. Nobody knows it. So for this reason you are always
Looking,
searching for something.
He has this kind of Stanley Kubrick-like, view which takes in simultaneously the birth of the planet and the death of the planet and the birth of civilization and death of civilization. And you can, the small stuff in between can piss off.
In 1992, Kiefer moved his studio to Barjac in the south of France. Without the help of architects or engineers, Kiefer and his assistants have turned this 200-acre site into one of the most dazzling, jaw-dropping works of art in the world. There are tunnels, towers, and pavilions to house his installations. It is Kiefer's imagination writ large on the landscape.
They're courageous, huh? Now you can look through, Electra. Look. Virgil, you have so long feet from here. Warum machst du denn zwei auf einmal? Eins reicht. Elektra, bist du verrückt? War's gut? Hm? Da habe ich so lange gearbeitet hier, so lange. Ja, mein Schatz, mein Schatz.
There is a feeling at Barjac of a giant intellectual as well as physical playground. It does feel like someone has been allowed to let themselves loose and do what they want to do and explore and play. He's one of those artists who absolutely uses the selling of art to fund these extraordinary projects. There's no commercial benefit in Barjac. It's done because there is this extraordinary compulsion.
Je vais un ici et un l'autre. On a deux.
Oui, oui.
Tony, on peut le tourner pour voir si c'est assez grand.
L'autre est plus grand.
L'autre est plus grand? Oui, oui. Ah, je vous aide.
D'accord?
Non, c'est bon. C'est petit, Tony, hein?
So how would you describe Barjac? Is it a working studio or an exhibition space or what? It almost feels like a laboratory.
I would say laboratory is a good word, yes. It's exhibition space, laboratory, and it's a work of art who has different issues or different material. You know, it's landscape, it's minimal art, it's conception art, it's land art, it's all this together.
It is an overwhelming place to walk around, and normally it's off limits to the public. But 1 month from now, Kiefer is inviting a select group of curators and collectors here for the very first time. And there's work to be done.
Nehmt mal den Scheiß da weg. Hop, dann nicht ab. Tony, il faut dire à Alain, quand on met l'avion, que le nez va vers l'ouest. Tony, l'ouest.
Vers l'ouest, donc vers là.
Oui.
Ok.
Tony. So I started with 3 containers. I put them and I put around other containers, and then in the space between I put concrete. I just put concrete. And here you can see the container is still visible. It was an inner container, and the container was outside. I took it away, and I had a wall. So I started here. I wanted just to have 3 places underneath the earth, and like bunkers or so. And then I thought it's so nice, and I continued with the next and the next and the next, and it was a building all of a sudden. So it was just growing like a painting, you know. I like things in movement. I don't like them static. I like them that they move and that they surprise me. If this will collapse, it would be a wonderful surprise, you know. I wanted that it slides a little bit, you know, because can you imagine when it would slide a little bit, it would be wonderful, you know, but it didn't. Didn't want. I get a cigar now. I was a long time, I had a problem. I didn't know if I would be a writer or a painter. Now I cannot change anymore. It's done now.
His bookshelves are full of, you know, physics and cosmology. He's really genuinely, conceptually so omnivorous. You know, he's still Anselm, the kind of teenager in a way, who is very annoyed at life at not giving him another 100 years in which he can read absolutely everything. And that hasn't changed at all.
This is a printing machine. They are filled up for centuries with meanings, you know, it's enormous. And yeah, and I transformed them now in a new meaning. In the Hebrew tradition, the letters are sacrosanct. However, you combine them, even in a completely irrational way, it makes a sense, you know, because the letters themselves are holy. Tony, le plancher sur la crypte, c'est fait maintenant ou pas encore?
Non, non, je vais vous faire voir ce qu'on est en train de faire sur la crypte. D'abord, on renforce les piliers en bas.
Montrez-moi,
Je vais
montrez-moi.
le faire là.
These pillars are made with a drill. So there was nothing, we drilled, and then in this hole, we put the concrete. These are the pillars then. Ah, c'est joli, Tony, c'est joli.
Vous allez venir, j'ai pas touché.
Ah, c'est tout joli, Tony.
On peut faire quelque chose parce que.
Mais qu'est-ce qu'on peut faire, Tony?
Alors,
Ça, il y a bien de plus en plus?
Alors,
here I left a hole because I like to come to earth in a room, you know? It's wonderful, no? Tony, c'est beau ça. C'est fantastique.
J'ai rien fait en attendant, comme je savais que vous alliez venir.
Parce que si on fait rien, c'est toujours beau, Tony.
Il n'y a que vous qui pouvez décider si c'est bon, Anselm. Ni moi n'ai pas décidé.
Regardez cette lumière, Tony, il faut faire quelque chose. C'est joli cette lumière.
Comme vous avez dit, il n'y a pas de souci.
Tony, this has to be done quickly because I wanted it to
Okay, so
stay like this.
should we go up
We
there?
go up. How we can go up here?
The best will be by here.
Tony, this was the first, and then
Yeah,
it's so awkward, no?
right. We can do something like this, Anselm.
Should not touch below, Tony. Then it stays like this.
I know,
below.
maybe you will get a little bit more stones when we are going to work on it, but
Yeah.
that's it, huh?
Oh, Tony.
You like scale, don't you? I know
Scale,
you're in denial about it. Is it important to you, scale?
No, I don't look at it like you look. It's my gesture. So it's my body who is implicated. You know the quotation of Nietzsche, a philosopher has to dance. It has to be, you have to dance. So it's the physical part is very obvious, and the scale is a product of the dance, if you want, you know.
What I see in your work, it makes me look at the world differently. Your use of material, whether it's lead or it's straw, material which ages and changes and transforms.
I think the transformation is in them. Because, for example, since a few years, some years, I do electrolysis. I put the painting in electrolyzed bath. You know, I want to put some time on this painting. I want to accelerate the time. And this is what the alchemists do. What happens in nature, they accelerate. My paintings goes on very often to change. They get green or red or with the time. I think you can see beauty in anything. I remember I was walking once on the beach in India, and the people came in the morning to the sea to shit, you know? A lot, thousands, you know? It was covered with shit, you know? And it was fantastic, you know? You could see all colors. It's a palette of colors. No, there are no ugly things. When you look at films, Germany after May 45, you know, it looks so fantastic, these damaged towns, you know. I mean, each artist, each writer, his capital is a childhood, you know. All what you learned there, what you saw there, because you saw there without any connotations. You saw it like innocently, and that's important.
Yeah.
All the source of inspiration, the source of doing something is there. You know, when you are a child, you have little equipment, and now I have real ones. But it's the same, you know. It's not so much difference. Achtung! Noch ein bisschen drehen. So, und jetzt höher. Bisschen höher, Toni, bisschen höher. C'est joli. Quand même, c'est un naufrage. Regardez, Alain le dirige par sa volonté. Levez, levez, levez. Hop, 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 hop. Hop. Ça plie?
On coupe les deux ferrailles là, comme ça on peut l'appuyer au plus près. Moi aussi, oui.
Non, mais c'est beau comme ça, on va l'agrandir avec du plan. Alain, cette nuit, il fait la prolongation de l'aile.
Non, c'est plus dedans.
Hein? Hein, Jacques, vous dormez la nuit?
Ah oui, ça, oui.
Mais Alain, vous n'êtes pas encore en retraite, non?
Pas loin.
Moi, je ne dors pas la nuit.
Ah bah oui, mais moi oui. Vous êtes plus en santé que moi. La nuit, je dors.
This was less good. Hop! Qu'est-ce qu'il fait là? Alain, ne cassez pas ma serre. Hop! 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 Yeah! Bravo, Tony! You are a genius. Yeah. You are quite genius. No, so. Yeah, Andreas. C'est bon.
C'est bon.
Personne ne sait comment on a entré ça. I would like to put this now there. To move this into there. Oh. I like this machine.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah! No, I have to guard against order sometimes. So, because there's always a middle way or a compromise between chaos and order. If it's too chaotic, nothing comes out, you know. If it's too order, it's sterilized, you know? So you have to always find the way between these two things. Let's go. Stop! Stop! Du versuchst die möglichst Englisch reinzustecken, aber dann korrigierst du nicht mehr. Wenn sie dann umfallen, fallen sie um. Das große Ding stört mich sehr da, das muss man absägen. Now it gets better. Ja, das ist gut.
Sunflowers are everywhere in Kiefer's universe. He seems to prefer them dead and dried up, when their heads are packed with seeds, a potent symbol of death and rebirth.
Vous attachez Oui. Laissez.
6 years ago, Kiefer moved his studio for a third time. He now works here, on an industrial estate half an hour east of Paris, in a warehouse that used to belong to a department store. Unlike Barjac, everything here is on one level. Paintings and sculptures can be moved quickly on wheels. In fact, everyone who works here uses bicycles to get around.
You know, this, what you see here, is like my brain. It's all the synapses and things. And I go around, and sometimes I find late a new connection between some object, between a painting and an object, or between two paintings, and so on.
Obviously you've collected these things, yeah.
Oh, there are a lot of things. There are skins of snakes, there are rails out of clay or locomotives, flowers, all kind of plants, debris, all kind of things.
So you have your memories and your materials, but also you might want to come back to these works at any time. So they're all here for you to...
They're waiting. I think to wait is something important. It's philosophical to wait, no? You know, today people don't wait anymore. You are always in contact with your friend, with your wife. You have always your handy with you, and oh, now I'm there, now I'm here. It's no more waiting for someone.
Some of these works have been waiting for a very, very long time, haven't they?
I think there are works from 71, I think. In the containers outside, I have works from the earlier 70s. But I know where they are, in which container. And then I go with my bicycle through all these rooms, all these spaces, and then I have an idea. Non, c'est mieux que ça peut être. C'est pas bien, non? Une ligne d'or. Où je fais une ligne suivant les montagnes, tu sais, avec l'or sur la tête. Aussi. Ah, tu sais que je fais une ligne d'or dans le vêtement. Je crois que ça,
oui, ça c'est pas mal.
Ça suffit.
Parce que le vêtement est beau, les couleurs sont parfaites.
Oui. Non, je fais une ligne d'or, et puis ça sera bien. Après, on a les trois éléments, l'or, le blanc et l'argent. Là, il faut mettre en or. Andreas, this gold here, non? Ça. Ok. Et puis, vous le mettez couché, et puis on met encore plus d'argent parce que c'est pas assez pour l'eau. Okay.
Do you enjoy the process of making?
It's difficult, and sometimes it's a failure. Because in any state of a painting, you have 100 possibilities, and you have to choose one. It's a war in your head, you know? C'est pas pour l'eau, hein? And when I look 2-3 days later, I think it's shit, you know? It happens, you know? Because you are in a certain situation, you think, oh, now I got something, you know? And then you have to wait to calm down, you know? And then you see, and sometimes the contrary happens too. You think, oh, I worked so much, and now it's damaged. It's not good, and then later you see, oh, you found a new thing. Alors on fait ça et puis on va voir, ok?
How do you know when a work is ready to leave the studio?
It's a very difficult moment because it's artificial interruption. It's a crucial moment when I have to give a painting to a show and they sell it, and then it's I cannot touch it anymore because then the curators or restaurators take over, and it's taboo for me. You should divide one in two and then... It's too much, Bill. You cannot use these walls. Können wir das mal ein bisschen rüberschieben? Vielleicht wird es dann besser. This gets out for the moment, okay? He will take it out. Okay.
You know how he used to show me the paintings? There were the paintings. There was a frame with wheels, and the paintings were outside. So one day it was raining, and he wanted to show me paintings on wheels, And I said, Anselm, maybe we should wait until it doesn't rain. He said, rain won't hurt it. It might even help it. And so he would bring the paintings out and leave them out in the rain while we're looking at them, and then put them all back. So that's what's so great about working with him.
Herr Karl, können Sie das mal rausnehmen? Aber noch greifbar, weil wir sind noch nicht ganz sicher, ne? Yeah. Oh, it looks already better, Bill. I did some flower paintings. I like so much flowers, you know. And then I thought, that's difficult to do flowers, you know. It's too comforting. People would like it too much, you know. I thought I have to give the flowers and the fields of wonderful fields of flowers another meaning. And I called it Morgentauplan.
Henry Morgenthau Jr. was an American politician who in 1944, with victory imminent, devised a plan for Germany after the war. He wanted to destroy its factories and turn the entire country into farmland. The Nazis discovered this, and Goebbels seized the opportunity to inspire the German people to fight on.
Wir haben ja in den letzten Tagen die Feindpläne zur Genüge kennengelernt. Den Plan des Juden Morgenthau, dass 80 Millionen Deutschen ihrer Industrie beraubt würden und Deutschland zu einem einzigen Kartoffelfeld gemacht werde. Ich bin nun hier vor Ihnen erschienen, um einerseits als Vertreter des Volkes vor der Nation und vor der ganzen Welt zu erklären, dass wir dieses Gebiet niemals aufgeben werden und es verteidigen werden wie eine Festung bis zum letzten Atemzug.
So the Morgenthau plan didn't happen, but I like this idea of this not executed plans. And I think an artist has a good opportunity to do something with it, because it didn't happen, you know. I had in my head the idea Germany would bloom everywhere, there would be a lot of flowers, wheat everywhere, and it would be a wonderful green country. Now we go here, because in the middle it could be more, how to say, more disparate. Aber Andreas, zuerst die Kleinen reinmachen, sonst könnt ihr die nachher nicht mehr. Erst die Kleinen alle reinmachen. Was ist mit dir los? You know, you do exhibitions, you sell paintings, and once you have to say that's not finished.
But you're very reluctant to say anything is finished.
Yes, I think it's never finished. Even when it left my studio, it continues, because the feeling of the spectators play a big role, because they create then thousands and millions of their own picture of the picture.
You get a feeling now that here's a man at the height of his creative powers. I mean, he always had energy, but I've just seen a level of intensity in the last 10 years escalate. And I think it's going to be a phenomenal late period. Maturity, I think we call it.
Okay. Die Erdzeitalter.
You know what it is in
No.
English? Stratigraphy, strats, the strats of the time. For example, you can see a portrait here. Yes. You see these flowers?
Yes.
the Queen of France, you see.
She doesn't look too pleased, Anselm.
What is this?
I don't think there's ever been anything like this quiet in the Royal Academy. Look around you, you know. This is. Did you spend much time establishing this in this
No.
room? No.
4.5 hours.
Wow.
It goes quick. I have 5 people, and they throw it. I made it from this side, you know?
Yeah.
But it's always better from the other side.
Yeah.
You was aware of this? It's controlled from this side, from the other side not. And that's mostly better.
And in this room,
You want some in your camera. That's me. Me projected to another time, to the geological time, you know? Yeah, our life is so short, you know?
So it's a sort of self-portrait, is it?
It's a self-aspiration to be connected to the geological time. Then I have more time, you know?
Perhaps it has something to do with turning 70 next year. But Kiefer's fascination with time seems to be getting deeper and wider. Geological time is the oldest time on Earth, stretching back millions of years. A timescale in which the human race and everything it has achieved is little more than a blip.
$330 million years ago, a big meteorite hit the Earth, and then I think 97% of all livings was destroyed. And if this meteorite wouldn't have hit the Earth, we wouldn't be there, because the evolution would have gone in another direction.
Now tell me, do you dream, Anselm?
You know, the most wonderful dreams are always connected with water. Water can be also very bedrohlich.
Dangerous?
Yeah, and it comes down and dissolves all. I like this. When I was growing up, I had always nightmares. But now I don't have any more nightmares. I was always fascinated by the expression, "I hold all Indias in my hand." It's from a poet, Quevedo, from the 17th century. We know the continents was once all together and then it was separated. And I like the idea to reorganize the continents by swimming.
Why are you an artist?
You know, I have to connect things in the world in a different way. You see a lot of things, you know, they are disparate. And you want to have a connection, to feel more secure, or to feel better. And this is what artists do, they create a new connection between things. We don't know why we are here. We don't know where we go. We have an intellect to try to find out, but we cannot. It's quite desperate, no?
And you can see the Anselm Kiefer retrospective at the Royal Academy in London until the 14th of December. And for more information and additional material, visit bbc.co.uk/arts. Imagine next Tuesday on writer and director Mike Leigh.